Moonlighter is a pixel art style RPG dungeon crawler, and I'm here to answer your question, is this game for you? I'll break down Moonlighter for you in 5 minutes or less, starting now. One of my favorite things about any game is when there isn't microtransactions, and Moonlighter has none. The only extra money to spend is on a single DLC edition for $7, and it's even cheaper if you get the complete edition. There's no timers like on mobile games, no pay to skip, or anything like that. Good old classic RPG progression. Moonlighter nails the microtransaction category for me and gets half a star. Another thing that drives me crazy is when I open a game's menu and feel overwhelmed, and this does the opposite. Everything made sense, from the worn equipment and inventory to the calendar and price guide. The menu options were clearly labeled at the bottom of the screen, even the controls were easy to grasp. When it comes to being able to get on the game and feel like you can conquer the learning curve and master its menus, that gives you another half a star. Something that always makes a game feel good is when the combat mechanics work the way you expect them to. The difficulty is perfect for me on the advised setting. I died a handful of times, but because the dungeons are so short, I wasn't feeling defeated. The enemy's attacks are quick to learn, yet still fun to fight. It also has an easier and harder difficulty setting if you need it. There is a variety of weapons, all with unique perks, so you can't go wrong with your choice. I love games when a meta playing style isn't required. When it comes to combat mechanics and difficulty, Moonlighter gets yet its third half a star. The game is small. It doesn't take much space at all and has some very low computing requirements. I mean, you can play it on the Switch, so your PC should be able to handle this. It does have some recognized issues, so make sure to Google support and check out the GOG website before you get into it. It's got some common issues that I personally didn't experience, but what kind of review would this be if I didn't do my research? These user issues should be patched out. For that, Moonlighter gets its first quarter of a star. I have to recommend this to anyone that has a Game Pass subscription, as it's free for you to play. For the cost of $20 on Steam and roughly the same on Switch, I would suggest buying a Game Pass 1-month subscription if you're able to. The game's only 30 hours to complete and you'll have plenty of time to test other games. I'd say it's worth the $20, but it never hurts to wait for it to go on sale. I give it another half a star for its cost and availability. I found Moonlighter to have me sucked in the entire time. I kept telling myself, as soon as I'm done with this dungeon, and 30 minutes later I'm collecting items in another dungeon. So yeah, the game is addicting, and I attribute that to the simplicity of it all combined with progression and fun combat. I would have to say this game leaves me feeling good, and like I'm always working on a goal. I definitely spent more time winning than losing. I give it another half a star when it comes to engagement and progression. My favorite thing in any adventure game is being rewarded with sweet loot for wandering off the main path or going the extra mile. The game does have secret rooms and treasure, but it is lacking in some departments. I mean, the secret rooms are all found the same, in a twinkling pit. The game does great for you being a merchant, but it's missing some RPG elements, and for that we have to give it a quarter of a star. I'm going to test out New Game Plus, but I feel like it's going to be the exact same thing all over again. The game is too small for me to enjoy replaying the exact same map and pathing. I think if the enemies had gotten new attack styles, that would have changed my opinion. For replayability, I'm going to have to give it a quarter of a star. The storyline of the game is simple. So simple, I can tell you the entire plot without any spoilers in a few sentences. You are a shopkeeper named Will who lives in a village that was once popular because of the local dungeons. People kept dying and the dungeons all closed, but you still kept searching for loot to sell in your store. No one has ever made it to the final dungeon. Will you? Simple and straightforward. The side quests you get as a shopkeeper are absolutely not worth it. I think your time is better spent selling items from your highest available dungeon rather than seeking out low-level items for a low-value reward. No cool side quest weapons, boss weapons, or abilities and items. The story and quest category gets a 0. One thing I like about the game is you never have trash items taking up space. You sell everything. It's a fun twist being a merchant and selling all the junk you've acquired. The golem pets you get are definitely a fun part of the game to factor in. They are all helpful and have some cool abilities. As I said before, the game is missing some important RPG aspects. There are no cool boss weapons or enemy-specific gear drops besides amulets, and I didn't find those to be worth hunting at all. There is no level-up system or experience points, and it's also missing things like special abilities, something that wreaks havoc that you can use only once or twice per rest. When it comes to game-specific qualities, I have to give Moonlighter a 1/4 of a star, giving the game a total of 3.5 out of 5 stars. Did you find this video helpful? If you want to catch more game reviews, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what games I should review next and what you think is missing from Moonlighter in the comments. Did you think it was worth playing through? Thanks for joining me for this 5-minute game review. Until next time.